Hey everyone, welcome back to Design, Create, Inspire with me, Bryn Young. I cannot wait to dive into this week's episode because we're talking all about gift giving. I can't believe we're already at this time of year, at the holidays. And last year I did a little gift guide, but I did it in December and I wanted to do it a little bit earlier this year. For some reason, the gift giving season just feels like it's early this year. And I wanted to get all this info out for you before the big sales and all that good stuff. So I decided this year to break it into 3 categories. So if you are an architect, if you're a designer, or if you have a designer or architect in your life, or even if you just like cool stuff, this is definitely for you. So let's get started. So before we dive into it, I have to do a little housekeeping update situation. So if you follow the show, thank you. If you don't, make sure you subscribe and you turn on that little bell so you get notified. We come out with new episodes every week. So if you watched last week's episode and the week before, I have a sincere apology for the video quality. We always set my camera up on manual, but for some reason we're trying something different. We set it up on automatic and it just kept messing up with the focus. It kept focusing elsewhere. So like most of the video, I was out of focus. Also, I am continually trying to set up my mic situation because I upload this onto the podcast each week. I have people who listen to this on the podcast, and then I have people who watch on YouTube. It's almost like 2 different groups of people. So I try to cater so that it sounds really good and it's visually good. But, I feel like as soon as I get the visuals up, for some reason the audio is not good. So I am trying my best. Again, I am not a video tech person. I am an architect. So I like to think I can do everything, but I can't. So I am trying to get it up. So thank you so much for sticking with me as I try to navigate this. You would think 2 years into it, I would be a pro, but there's always things to learn. So I just had to give a quick thank you, and I appreciate you understanding. And hopefully this is looking good. I did a little test run before. It looked like it was in focus. My mic, so I have my mic right here now. I used to have it much further from me. I'm trying to have it closer to me to try to get that audio better. But I also try to get it out of the frame on YouTube so that you don't look at my mic while I'm talking on YouTube. So anyways, enough about that, but I just had to say a quick caveat, so thank you. Okay, but let's get into this gift guide. So I am excited about all these things today. I'm not usually the biggest, I don't really care about gifts that much. Gift giving and gift receiving, it's definitely not my love language. If I didn't receive any gifts for Christmas, definitely when I was a kid, obviously. But now it's like not a big thing for me. It's not a big priority. But as I was building this gift list, I'm like, ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want that. So it definitely got me excited. So I broke it down into 3 different categories. Now, you can look at this as like the person you're buying for. So you can maybe categorize someone on your list in one of these categories, or this might be you. So you might have something in this gift guide that you're interested in. So you can send it out to whoever's purchasing you gifts. But I broke it down. Obviously, they all could be in one category, but it's more fun this way. So I have the designer, the maker, and then I also have the future architect. So I have your young generation, everywhere from little kids to teenagers. Now, I have to admit, I have already purchased a couple of these items for my kids because I am so excited about it and I love it. Let's just get into it. I was wondering, okay, usually I make this a blog post. I'm like, how am I going to do a gift guide video too? I'll put up some pictures and stuff, but I'm like, is that kind of boring to watch? And then I'm like, especially on a podcast, how am I going to do that? But just know I will have links to all these things down below, and I'm going to have a blog post. So the blog post is going to have everything really clear. It'll be laid out with the links. You can always go back and reference that. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be down in the comments. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you can go and you can look at the blog post while I'm talking, because I'm definitely going to like dive into the individual things a little bit more on here. You know, on the podcast, I'm not much of a writer, so I tend to just like put down the bullet points. But on the blog. But on the podcast, so yeah, I'll explain things, but obviously you don't have a visual. So you can use your imagination, or you can go watch or look at the blog while you are listening. Okay, let's go into the first one. Let's first dive into the designer in your life. Now, this doesn't, again, have to be a designer. I think specifically I have this aunt and uncle who love design. They're always, have the forefront of design stuff. They just have a very great eye for design and a love for it. So 100% for someone like that in your life as well. So essentially just like the design aficionado in your life. This first item is a little funky and off the beaten path, which I love. So these are graph lance. They're trivets, but they're felt. And they're just funky and fun and really cute on your kitchen counter. They have all sorts of designs. I love their leaf design. They have little pig designs. They're just funky, and they come in all sorts of fun colors. So definitely for the person who has a fun, fresh, funky house, they would love this. And they're fairly inexpensive, but they just have this high value design. So I love these. I love mixing and matching these too. You can use them as coasters. You can use them as trivets for hot plates. You can use them as pretty much anything. So for hot or cold. So really fun, really simplistic designs, but funky and just awesome. So again, everything will be linked down below. So don't forget to go find that. But of course, I'll show photos too. Okay, so the second thing on my list. Now, I came up with this concept because we do this all the time in our kitchen, but we do it really funkily. So this is a avocado seed sprouting vase. So this is designed to specifically hold an avocado pit, and you water it and you just do like out of your avocado, and then it will actually sprout. And you can plant it or whatever, just even have it as like a cool house plant. So we do this all the time. We're in San Diego. We have some beautiful avocado trees in our backyard, but we always like to just see what we can grow from what we eat and what we have in the kitchen. So with avocado seeds, they're a little bit different. So you can't just leave them on the counter, or you can't just like immerse them in soil or water or whatever. They're really specific. So what they want to be near the moisture of water, but they don't want to be, again, submerged, and they don't want to be in soil yet. So what we do is we take toothpicks and we actually make like an X in a avocado and place that on a cup. And so what that does is it suspends it over the water without immersing it. And then eventually what happens is the seed cracks. And from that crack starts growing these roots and starts growing a tree. And it's just really fun to like do experiment with the kids, and even just for us, leave it on the counter. It's fun. So this is cool because you don't have to be all makeshifty. You can put it in this cool looking vase, which you don't even have to use specifically for avocados. You can also use it as a flower vase or like a bud vase. But it is perfectly cylindrical where you can place the seed in it and then put the water in it. And then it has that access to the water without submerging it. And then you can grow your plant. So this is so fun. I don't have one yet. I'll probably buy one for my husband for Christmas. He probably won't listen to this, so all is good. But this is a good one for like designer because I think the shape of the vase is really fun and has this beautiful curvature to it, even again as just like a bud vase. But it also is really fun for someone who likes houseplants or anything like that. All right, the third one. Now, I'm going to start this by saying Heath Ceramics. If you don't know Heath Ceramics, one of my favorite places. They have these really beautiful bud vases. And really, any of their ceramics are incredible. So definitely go check them out. But I found these and I liked that they reminded me a little bit of some of the bud vases, but they had this really beautiful collection of colors that it wasn't all bright, but there was some color to it and the different sizes as well as shapes. So this is a set. So it's a 3-set bud. I don't know if they're called bud vases, but just essentially ceramic vases. Now these are so beautiful. Again, as a set, individual, anything. They feel really high end, but they're actually really well priced. So you can get these on Amazon, and these are kind of like almost like a dupe of the Heath ones. I would still definitely recommend the Heath bud vases, but this is kind of a nice alternative, especially if it's someone in your life that you want to buy something fun for, but you don't want to spend a whole lot of money. I love these vases. Okay, the fourth. This, I was like, for sure for architect, coffee, okay, or a designer. Like, how can I incorporate coffee? Now, the Chemex is what I use every morning. I highly recommend it. It can look almost a little intimidating at first because it's not a coffee machine. So simple. It's just the most basic pour over, but beautiful, makes incredible coffee. And it's just such a timeless piece that you can leave it on your table or you can leave it on your countertop and it looks beautiful. So this, if you have a designer or an architect in your life who does not own one of these, they will very much appreciate the design and the simplicity and the functionality of it. So I highly recommend this. Okay, 5 and 6. I'm going to morph these together because they kind of go hand in hand. I'm going to start with 6 and then I'll go back to 5. But 6, well, essentially 5 and 6. It's a diffuser with essential oil. So this is a great way to pair something together as like a package set and give it as, one whole thing. So the diffuser is the Truvi Diffuser, which is such a beautiful diffuser. Now, yes, it's not the cheapest diffuser. It's like over $100. But I believe last time I checked, they were 15% off on Amazon right now, which is amazing. So worth it. But also they're just really incredible. First of all, if it's a designer in your life, they will really appreciate the minimalist, the quality of design in this diffuser. So the whole top of it is ceramic. Actually, the whole top and base of it is ceramic. And so it's not like you're diffusing through a bunch of plastic. Of course, like the inner portion where you're holding the water is plastic, but most of it is ceramic. And so it's really beautiful. I actually have one on my desk right here. Mine is black, but I don't know if they had this gorgeous moss color when I got mine. I think I got mine for Christmas 2 years ago or something, but I have it going right now. I love it. It works so well. It's quiet. It's just a really, really beautiful diffuser. So definitely high-end design that if you're purchasing for a designer in your life, they will really appreciate this. Now, I pair this with the Santal aroma. So Santal is one of my favorite scents. And if you haven't smelled it before, it is very earthy and spicy. It's not floral. It's strong. It's masculine, and it's just, I love it. So Le Labo is a fragrance company, very famous fragrance company. Wow, that's a mouthful. And they have a perfume named Santal, which is just like a classic and one that is very well loved by myself included. And so this is kind of like an ode to that. It's a way to get that smell in your house. It feels really elegant, but masculine and strong and clean and just amazing. So this is a really nice compliment. I like that the Santal essential oil comes in this really nice packaging. So it's a really nice pair. It also doesn't come at the price point of the Le Labo fragrance. So that's kind of a win-win as well. So those are a really great pair if you're going to do like a packaged, designed gift. Okay, so that was all for the designer. Now I want to move into the maker. Now, when I was going through this concept, I was thinking, yes, a designer, yes, an architect, but also someone who really likes to work with their hands, who likes to build, who likes to craft, who likes to just like make stuff. And I also thought it could be, someone who maybe doesn't necessarily love to receive gifts all the time, or who wants more of an experience. Maybe someone who's more of a minimalist and doesn't just want things, but wants something that they can use or utilize, or even an experience that they can go do. So the first one I have is essentially that, is something you can go do. Now, I have the Mud House Ceramic Studio, which is a new ceramic studio here in San Diego. Beautiful. You have to go check it out if you are in San Diego. It's in North County in Leucadia. And they offer all sorts of classes. So you can either get like a 90-minute studio session, you can do a specific class, you can do private lessons, and it's a ceramic studio. So you can make a mug or make a bowl or make a plate or whatever you want to do. So this is a really fun gift if you have someone who you want to do an experience with. So maybe your partner or a family member or a good friend, and you don't want to give them a specific like physical gift. You want to give them something that you both can go do together. This is a really fun way to do that. So again, the Mud House is here in San Diego. If you're not in San Diego, not a big deal. You can find something like that in your area. So your local ceramic studio, or maybe there's like a paint studio that you can go and have that really awesome experience together. So my husband and I, we have a private couples session that we're going to be doing around the holidays. So that's like our kind of gift and experience that we're going to do together, which is nice. Okay, number 2 on the makers is the Mexican Keto Cookbook. Now, this is also a local San Diego woman who has developed this. I grew up with her. Her name's Tori Borelli, or her married name is Tori Hall. And she wrote this incredible cookbook. She's a holistic nutritionist. So it's very healthy, but she's Mexican. So it's like healthy, but like the tastiest, amazing meals ever. Like pickled onion on street tacos, like just amazing, like so tasty. So I highly recommend her cookbook. I have it here. This is really fun for someone who wants healthy but flavorful and wants to cook and have that experience of making. Okay, number 3 is the Essential Guide to Architecture and Interior Design by 07 Sketches. I don't know if it's just 7 sketches or 07 sketches, but I've found this account a long time ago on Instagram. I follow them. Definitely go check them out. And they just have these really awesome, like, what to do and what not to do, essentially. Like before and after, or this layout versus this layout, or dimensions, special dimensions that you should use. And it's just a really cool guide for architecture interior design. So this is a really fun gift for someone who is maybe even just starting or just to have some visual of design. So I definitely recommend it. If you want to go check out their Instagram, they always post excerpts from this book, so you can get a really clear idea of what it looks like. Okay, number 4 is the Modern Art Coloring Book. Now, this is like $5 or something, but it would be really fun to give with maybe some Prismacolor coloring pencils or something like that. But I love this because it's really beautiful modern art and you can color it however you want. And also I was kind of attracted to it because the cover image is one of my favorite Picasso paintings, Women in the Mirror. I used to have a poster in college, you know, back in the poster days. So yeah, I would love this. I just time to feel creative, but also just like a meditative outlet. So this is definitely a fun one for any age designer in your life. Okay, the 5th one, this is an embroidery kit. Now I have maybe embroidered like once in my life. My grandma was a beautiful embroiderer, but I learned to quilt and to sew, but not necessarily to embroider. But this looks so fun. And again, like one of those, someone like who likes to design and make and build stuff with their hands. But if they want to just relax and do something on their own and kind of have some time away from work, this is a really fun craft. So it's this integration of design and craft, which is really fun. And then that also kind of goes into the 6th one, which is a wood burning toolkit. Now, I have one of these. I just think they're so fun and interesting. And like, who doesn't want to burn wood and make designs from it? So I think definitely of architects who we build models and all that. It's a way to do what we love without it being work. So I think this is just a really fun craft that can be, again, for all ages, maybe not super young, but it is a fun one that is something perfect for the maker. Okay, now this category, the future architect, this one was really fun, especially just because I have 2 young daughters that I enjoy integrating to the world of design and love to teach them. And obviously kid toys and everything are always just like fun and colorful and pretty. So the first one is the ABCs of architecture. I just got this one for my youngest. It is fun. It is by House Logos. And House Logos, they do all sorts of logos for houses. So it's like very block, minimal logo art for famous architecture. And so it's fun because they did all of those logos for like the ABCs of architecture. Like F is for Farnsworth House and E is for Eames House. And they did the logos for those. So it was really fun and just thought that would be a cool one. And then there's another ABCs book, but it's a little different artwork. So if you want something a little less minimalistic, and this is really simple, it's on Amazon. So that always makes it easy. And this one's called Baby's First Eames, which of course, I mean, how fun is that? So it's another ABCs book, but it shows all the different styles of design and not just houses. So furniture and everything too. And then it also goes into a little bit more information about some of them, which is fun too. So it's a little bit of a deeper book that you're going to like read a little bit more of. So that's fun. Now, number 3, Maybe I'll Be an Architect. This one I'm really excited to share because this one is by Tennille Bettenhausen, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And the first time I heard about this book was I am actually on a Facebook group with Tennille, and she posted about the book. And she told us a little bit about her story and she has a daughter and she's a Black woman. And she essentially was saying that there was not enough representation in the architecture world for people like her and her daughter. And so as an architect, she felt that this was really important and wanted to design a book for her daughter. So it's called Maybe I'll Be an Architect, and it's about a little girl who is dreaming about being an architect. So it just came out like within the last couple weeks. So I definitely recommend that, supporting her and her mission to create more representation in this industry, I think is really amazing. So I can't wait. I have mine on order. So I'm looking forward to reading that to my daughters too. So definitely recommend that. Okay, number 4. Maybe this one needs to go with the coloring book because this one is so freaking fun. It is the Peacock pencil set. Now, this is from the website Design Life Kids. And if you haven't gone on that website before, it's addicting and I want everything. I don't know if they go by the full name or if they go by DLK, but they have such fun design stuff, and especially for kids. So this peacock, if you're on the podcast and you can't see it, all the coloring pencils shoot out of the body of this peacock, of this wooden peacock, to make up the feathers, essentially. So it's just like super fun. Keep it on your desk. I love this. The 5th one, second to last. Thank you for bearing with me. And I just have so much fun with this. So hopefully you will too. And hopefully you'll go and let me know what some of your favorites are, what you ended up getting, and what the reaction of your gift recipients was. I'd love to hear it. But okay, so the second to last one is this Go Eco building set. I don't have Legos on the list this year, which is like such a go-to, but I really loved this concept because it's like a sustainable STEM or STEAM building kit. So it is like building blocks, and you build this really cool sustainable house. And so it teaches you about sustainable architecture, and it's a little bit more geared towards that older kid, not necessarily the toddler. And it's a nice alternative to Legos. So it's a little bit more directed rather than Legos that's like a very building block, if that makes sense. So definitely go check them out they have them on Amazon, but I think this is a really cool gift for maybe that elementary school kid who wants to learn a little bit more or get more excited about sustainability and architecture. Okay. Number 6, this is another one from Design Life Kids that I had to throw on here because just so funky and awesome and interesting. And these are crayon rocks. So they are crayons, but they look like little pebbles or little rocks. So this would be super fun to give to a kid. It's one of those like novelty items that is not a crayon. So it feels fun and it feels unique, and kids love that. So what is that? 6, 12, 18 things, my 18 list of gifts that I recommend for 2022. Super fun. I love doing this, and how fun to do a gift guide when you're a designer because everything is fun and colorful and pretty and beautiful, and I just love it. So I want to hear from you. What items are you buying for yourself maybe? Or are you buying for a family member or a friend? Or what your favorite items were? You can always comment on YouTube. You can also DM me on Instagram, or every week on Instagram, I also make posts related to this. So you can always go on there and comment on there. So if you're not wanting to like just comment directly to me, you can always comment on there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you all for being here. As always, another week and almost the end of the year. I hope everyone is having a wonderful gear up to the holidays. You know, I know that at this time of year starts to be it's like both hectic and slowing down. So it's just kind of crazy. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful November, and I can't wait to hear what you took away from this week's episode, and I will see you next week. Have a good one.